everybody, my name's Holly from Holly's Backyard Bees. But today we're not going to be learning about bees, we're going to be learning about another insect, another flying insect called the Queensland fruit fly. The Queensland fruit fly, you might be thinking, why on earth do we want to learn about a bug from Queensland? There's a whole state between us and them. Well, we're going to learn about the life cycle of this insect, why it's a problem for us here in the Yarra Valley, and what we can do together to help this issue. So what is the Queensland fruit fly? Well, it's a really small fly that attacks a wide range of fruits and vegetables. Queensland fruit fly have some markings on their body which helps us to identify them. They have a body that's shaped a little bit like a wasp and have big reddish brown eyes. They also have yellow markings on their shoulders as well as a yellow triangle on the base of their thorax. Even though it's called a fruit fly, it actually likes to lay its eggs in lots of the veggies that we love to eat too. So let's learn about the life cycle. Like a lot of insects, the Queensland fruit fly goes through 4 different stages of development. It starts off with an adult fruit fly laying her eggs inside ripening fruit. She lays her eggs with a stinger called an ovipositor. When those eggs hatch, they turn into larvae, which is the next stage of the life cycle. And this is the stage where all of the damage happens to our fruit. Those larvae burrow into the fruit, they make it go rotten, and once those fruits have fallen to the ground, that's exactly what the fruit fly want to happen, because they then burrow back up out of the fruit and burrow down into the soil where they pupate. And that's the next stage of their life cycle. While they're a pupa, they have a hard casing that they form around their body, and they stay in the soil for around about 10 days. When they're ready, they emerge back up out of the soil and come out as an adult fruit fly. And when they come out of the ground, they are hungry. They're looking for some food to eat, but they're also looking for a mate so that they can reproduce and the life cycle can start all over again. Why is this a problem for us here in the Yarra Valley? Well, let me show you a map which might help describe it a little bit better. So can you see the pink bit on the map? That's the region of Australia where Queensland fruit fly like to live. Parts of the Northern Territory, eastern side of Queensland and New South Wales, and even down into Victoria. We can see on the map there's a little green bit. It's where the Queensland fruit fly likes to move across the state as the weather gets a little bit warmer. I don't know about you, but that's getting a little bit too close to the Yarra Valley for my likings. And very sadly, in the last few years, there have been a few isolated cases where Queensland fruit fly have actually made it into some of our region's fruit. So that's a really big problem for us here in the Yarra Valley, because I don't know about you, but I love to grow my own food. My own fruits and vegetables that I can feed to my family. But I also know that in the Yarra Valley, we are surrounded by the most amazing produce. Farmers that are growing lots of berry fruits, stone fruits, citrus, and lots of other veggies that we all love to eat. And I definitely do not want to be biting into a nice juicy apple to find it wriggling with maggots. As you can imagine, there's lots of different things that we can do to help prevent this problem and detect it early. But if it becomes a big problem, we might have to start using special baiting methods. Farmers might have to start building big netted enclosures to cover their crops, and it becomes a really expensive operation. They have to treat their fruit in a certain way, which we don't want them to have to use harmful chemicals or sprays on their crops. It's not good for them and it's not good for us. So we want to do our bit to prevent the problem. So what we're going to do now is we're going to take a little pause. You're going to get out your worksheet and we're going to see how much you remember from today's presentation. And you're going to go ahead and answer those questions before we gather back together. And I'm going to teach you how to make a fruit fly trap that you can hang up in your own garden at